All right. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone's doing great. I hope everyone's doing amazing because I know I am. My name is Chad. I'm a motion designer and I'm learning to draw every day just to prove to people that it's not really that bad. Open recent Proko challenge. And yeah, okay. What is going on? What's happening here? Like, what's going on here? For example, here, look at this. Here, what's happening? I don't even know where to start, man. I'm gonna throw this. Lots of stuff is exhausting, and honestly, it's like it's been going not bad, but you know, it's not great either. I don't know. Everything will come. It's just like a period of like not torment, but it's like a very unsure, like slice of, or just like season of life. You know what I mean? Anyways, we're watching Proko do his thing. He's good, Proko. Gumroad tileable 4K design and realistic textures. I, believe it or not, started learning freaking Blender. Yes, I've already started using what's it called? Freaking Marvelous Designer, which is really interesting software. It's for digital fashion design, and it's really interesting. Fashion has always been something like, it's never really got into it, thinking that I'm probably never going to go into it, just like I don't need it. I don't see it as something that will make me that I'm necessarily interested in, and that will make me, like, that I would get income out of it. But with this, like, hey, things may change. I don't know, but I'm just exploring the possibilities now, and 3D seems very interesting, especially Blender. Blender is great, and I know I'm saying, like, I'm still a beginner. I'm still getting to get, familiarize myself with the interface and stuff like that. Excuse me. But at the same time, I feel like I'm not going to have trouble with it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, I don't think I'm gonna have trouble. It's just like a matter of learning the software, and that's it. And the software, I feel like if you know the basic blocks, you just, like, as much as you go and they use it more, you sort of like encounter more features, and you will get to know them sooner or later. You just, like, have to spend enough time on it. But otherwise, it's it's good. I'm not scared of it. Maybe I'll eat my words, and I'm going to struggle, and I'll be crying a couple more weeks, but we'll see. I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited to learn 3D. Hopefully my computer or my machine lets me, because it's fine. Like, I was doing motion design semi okay, so I don't think I'll be having any problems. All right, let's just start the challenge. Alright, this is the ears. Whoosh. Let's watch the ears, baby.
Hey guys, my name is Stan Proko. In this episode of Proko, I'll show you how to draw the ears. After the initial linear lay-in, I'm going to introduce a concept called shadow mapping. Basically, during shadow mapping, you focus on defining the shapes and edges of the light and dark pattern. But first, let's start with a very important linear lay-in. I'll start with the angle of the connection to the head, and find the biggest shape of the ear. Focus on getting the width to height relationship and the correct angles of the plane changes. Now I'll focus on the complex shapes inside the ear. Make sure to constantly compare shapes to the shapes around it. Keep checking angles and the size relationships of the shapes. Breaking up the curves into segments of straights makes it easier to design and draw accurately. Also, it's okay to exaggerate shapes if you think it will make for a better design. Okay, so here's the shadow mapping stage. The linear lay-in I have so far doesn't change, no matter where the light source is. It simply indicates the forms. During the shadow mapping stage, I'll focus on the specific shapes caused by the light. So I always start by evaluating what angle the light source is coming from. In this case, looks like it's at the top left. As I map the shadow pattern, I will be indicating either a core shadow or a cast shadow. The core shadows will usually have a soft or firm edge, whereas the cast shadows will usually have a very sharp edge. So simultaneously, I'm indicating the shape of the shadow as well as the edge of the shadow. Separate the lights from the shadows. Stay simple and don't lose control of your values. Try to ignore all the dark halftones and only fill in the shadows. Remember, reflected lights are part of the shadow family, so fill them in as a shadow. The way to make them look like reflected lights is to darken the areas around them, not by lightening them. If you lighten them, they will become part of the light family, and that will hurt the form. A very good guideline to follow is the darkest light is lighter than the lightest dark. Let me repeat that. The darkest light is lighter than the lightest dark. In other words, never make your reflected light lighter than your halftones. Of course, with the exception of very reflective surfaces like metal and water. In the deep crevices of all these forms, I'll add the dark accents of the occlusion shadows. In the final stage, I'll add some smaller planes in the lights with halftones and defined highlights. Most of the volumes in the ear should be shaded like organic cylinders. Make sure these volumes feel round. Okay, so as with the other feature demos, I'm going to give this drawing away, and this time I'll give it to someone that buys the new DVD that I announced a few days ago. If you'd like to purchase it, go to proko.com/DVD1. Watch my previous video to get a quick overview of the DVD. I'll announce the winner of the giveaway on December 7th. Hey, if you like this video, your friends might too. Please.
I liked it. It's just that, one, I don't think I'm ever going to draw an ear as detailed as that. Two, it was okay. It was fun. Okay. Let's just hop on. Ooh, we haven't drawn a man in a while, have we? Let me take a look. Yeah, the last one yesterday was a female. This is a beautiful man right here. Do we do some dramatic light? Okay. Here we go. Bro, I need to figure out like a sleeping schedule because this is not fun. I don't want to be low energy like this. I'm not going to, okay, first of all, I'm gonna look at it really thoroughly, all right? And then I'm just gonna lay in strokes. I'm not going to just like, you know, hone in details or anything like that. Just gonna, you know, put some strokey strokes. Hey, look at this. We almost have like the same lighting, kind of. Isn't that fun? Is there... Nah, this is... I think this is as dark as it can go. But it's not orange. This is orange. Well... Okay. Let me see. So this is at an angle. He's looking that way. Even though he's looking that way and it's on an angle, the middle line sort of like is in the middle. It's not towards the right or towards the left. This is straight ahead view, kind of, right? Yeah. Maybe a little bit towards the left, just like a tiny little bit. And the other stuff, if you're gonna mention anything else, is going to be the neck, how the neck is just coming from the right. It's not actually coming like from the middle down. And I think that's about it. Okay, I described this. Now I need to just look at it. Look at it, look at the eyes, look at the proportions. That's important. So we've got this line right here. Almost so like these connect. You know, these two connect. This one, however, it's not the case. That's interesting. This is almost straight compared to like his face. This isn't. This, look. Why is that? Is that part of like the asymmetry of the face? I don't think so. Wait, I'm not showing Photoshop. Gosh darn it. Right? Like, what's happening there? No, like, actually, this is very interesting. Okay, I think I see. It's just the fact that this side is shown more than this side, almost. Like you see right here, and maybe we can do like this one right here, but that, you see what I mean? So I think that's the reason why. The man's face is perfectly symmetrical. So Yeah. Okay, let's go. I drew straight up on his face. My bacon. Let's go. This is a circle. We can exaggerate the direction. It does not matter. It doesn't have to be like 100% it. You know what I mean? This is like really small. Almost like this. Like him. Like him. Like him. Almost, you know what? I'm going to do this, actually. Alright. Yeah, that's, yeah. Now this is in the middle. This is sort of like, goes up like this. And then we have a certain angle. This is here, and we're following the thirds here. It's pretty close. That's kind of like here. Yep. Okay. I don't really care about the hairline. All right. So the ear is in here. You feel me? So we have this draw. It drops from here, right? And we have this angle, and right here. Stop. All right, perfect. Now, this almost goes out a little bit. And this is almost round. Okay. Now we have this. This one goes from here to here. Let me actually lower it down a little bit because I tend to just like, I find lots of space around here and I go like, yeah, this is free real estate, let me use it. Nope, let's not do that. I still kind of don't know how to draw eyebrows yet. Not in a sense like obviously they're just like two lines literally. But how to get, I don't know. I feel like brows have personalities. And I feel like so far I'm giving everybody the same eyebrows. Is what I'm saying, does what I'm saying make sense? Right, and this is dark, so we're gonna try to emulate the you know, the dark atmosphere. We're not. I almost traced the dark shapes. So this is pretty straight in here. It's pretty straight. And then sort of like we stop here. And then this happens, all right? And then this happens. Okay, okay, don't focus on the details. What did I say, bruh? What did I say? We're going to go this route. Bro has sort of like a large portion there. Actually, it doesn't have to be that large. Yeah, just like that. Almost like this, and then from here to here, and from here to here. All right. Now this is a large nose. I need to make it less large. So this line here, I kind of like, don't hate it, but this is here, right? And I think I tend to make noses larger because it's just like gives me more space, you know, to move, which is not the move. So this one right here, actually. Can we do that? Can we just like do this? Of course we can. Of course I can. Okay, this may not end up looking like him, but I'm trying something new here. I'm trying like the see that nose from that angle, right? Because what I see if I'm going like if I'm going to try to make the same thing, like I'm seeing this, right? A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and sort of like here, right? All right, but that's boring. I don't want to do that. I don't know, we can do this. That could be fun, but I feel like that always ends up looking wide. So maybe make it like this. Now it doesn't even look like a nose anymore. Nah. All right. Okay. Let's get back here. Got this beautiful mouth. Oh, I also tend like to make this distance a bit large. So let's not do that now. Literally every reference I draw, everyone, they have beautiful, beautiful lips. Hey, yo, Joe, what's up? Hello, man. They have beautiful, amazing, luscious lips. That's enough. That's all I'm gonna do. Happy birthday, thank you. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'm older. I'm old now. Hey, I'm old now, you know. Which is exciting, you know. We're you know, more experience, more days to live. Which is also kind of like, it can be scary, it can be exciting, really it depends on how you look at it. I think it's exciting. It can be scary if like a person is like stagnant. Right? What do you think, Joe? Is it scary to get old? I think it's nice. Oh, for frick's sake. beautiful eyes on this man. Nah, ain't scary. Problems be scary. That's true. That's true. I have a vid for you to see. Please link me up, my man. Hook me up. The secret to getting better at art. I swear I've seen this title. I don't know if is it a new video? Because if it is a new video, then I've seen this title before. If it's not, then I'm tripping. Let's check it. By who? New video? Okay, I think I've seen it. Excel. Where is it? I'm not seeing it. Excel. I'm getting Excel videos. Excel art tips. Excel art tips. The secret to getting better at art. Okay, maybe they've changed the thumbnail because I don't remember seeing this thumbnail.
This video
and maybe this is shut up.
All right, how's it going?
Maybe wait, let's see. Huh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, we'll check it out. Right after this one, just like, let me do this man's beautiful eyes right here real quick. I also tend to make very large pupils, so let's not do large pupils, shall we? You know what? Actually, freaking Sam does art. I think it's him, right? His characters have really beautiful eyes, and I wanna. It's the eyes. It's the combination of like the eyes, the lips. It's everything, and it's really beautiful. And maybe I'm at a point where I can actually emulate people's art style. Just fun. Okay, we can see a part of the ear here, so there you go. There you go. Not too much. There you go. There you go. Oh, don't go too crazy there. Let me grab these. Ah. What do you think about that vid? Can you see it? Wait, the one you recommended it? The one you recommended? I still haven't seen it yet. I'm going to just like finish this one really quick. This one, you know, drawing. I'm just gonna hop on it right after I finish this one. I'm gonna be sure, I'm gonna, you know, make sure I see it because I know your recommendations are not like bull crap. So just 1 second. Let me, you know, do the contour for this one. There you go. There you go. Let's darken his eyes. Do a little bit darkening here and there. Do we do the light and shadow? I've actually looked at like one of these skulls that have like the planes of the head, and where like you have like a light source from here, and so it shines certain planes of the head, and some planes are in shadow. I followed one of these skulls, and it's very fun. I've actually drawn on my... Oh, nice. There you go. Wait, this is... Let's get rid of this. Let's move this up here. Big nose. And since this cuts off here, do that really quick. And then here to here. And that's it. That's it. There we go. All right. I like it. 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 Maybe I think if I'm gonna nitpick, the eyes are far apart from each other. Okay, and now I'm seeing something weird happening. I don't know what it is. I can't really put my finger on it. What do you think, Joe? What's happening here? You know what I see here is that I'm not scared with the nose a little bit. Maybe the nose is okay. I'm not scared with the lips. I'm a bit scared with the eyes. The nose is a bit crooked here. So let's fix this one. Ugh. Nope. 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 Maybe. Maybe. No, dude, what? No, what the what did I do? What happened? Whoa. Whoa. That's awesome. Nose looking flat and 2D symmetrical. I agree. I agree, I guess. I agree. How do I make it look 3D? this. I don't know, it's okay, I think, but it puts the emphasis on the nose, which, you know, makes it look weird. It makes him look like a pig. One side of the nose must be smaller by a bit. Okay, it's really good that you mentioned that. Okay, let's see which one side. You talk about this one? Is it this one? Not sure. Oh, is it this one? I think it's this one, since the one on the left. So it's okay, it's good to know at least that it's the nose that's effed up. No, I don't think so. I really like this preview. Pattern preview. Pattern preview works best with smart objects. Transforming pixel layers may show unexpected results. Brother, who cares? Ooh, goo goo gaga. Okay. You know what? Also, like, one thing I want to get rid of is these lines. Like these lines under here. Like, I don't want to draw them anymore. I think it's enough if I just like draw the upper eyelids. Same with the lips here. I don't need to, you know, make all the strokes to, you know, even though, okay, like this, honestly, this doesn't look bad. It's like he's doing like this, well, what is it called? Like mewing pose, like, you know. Okay, I'm gonna keep it this way. I'm gonna keep it this way. All right, I think we can stop here. I don't want to modify anymore, because if I'm gonna keep doing that, I'm never going to get off of it. Let me go here. Yes. Let's stop the music. Let's check it.
This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Alright, how's it going everyone? So in this video, I'll be going over how to actually practice art, because if you want to get better, you need to know the theory behind how something works, but you also need to be able to apply that, and you learn that through practice. Also, don't forget, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so through Patreon and YouTube memberships, which are both linked in the description, and if you're interested, you can also join our Discord server, which is also linked in the description. But let's get started. So I'm gonna have to start by explaining why the practice you're doing might not be as effective as you'd hope it to be, and then I can explain how to actually practice. So the main problem when it comes to giving advice about practicing is that everyone is at a different level and they all have their own weaknesses they need to work on. You may have noticed that if you watch a tutorial about a certain topic and it gives you an exercise to do, you can do that exercise, but sometimes, well, most of the time, it doesn't really seem to make you any better. The reason for that might be because it's a topic you don't need to practice right now, either because it's too far above or too far below your level, or you might already be good at it. And the other reason might be because you're not doing the exercise correctly. Like, an exercise that's often recommended for perspective practice is drawing boxes. If you don't understand the purpose of the exercise, what you might end up doing is drawing a bunch of random boxes while not really thinking about the perspective rules for boxes, which I actually went over in a previous video. But the purpose of the practice in this case is to get your brain used to considering the perspective rules so that it becomes muscle memory, or to get your brain used to thinking in 3 dimensions. If you're drawing without considering those rules, you'll be drawing incorrect boxes, and you'll end up getting better at drawing those incorrect boxes instead of proper boxes. So understanding the purpose of the exercise and what you need to pay attention to is extremely important, even more important than the end result of the practice drawing. Even if the end result looks bad, it doesn't matter, just as long as your brain was being confronted by something challenging. So essentially, if you want to be able to practice properly, you need 2 skills. The first one is the ability to analyze your own work. Basically, you need to be able to identify your own weaknesses, and the second one is being able to think of ways to remedy those weaknesses. Now, before we get into how to solve those problems, this video is sponsored by the Strong Learning Potential and Warm-Up Exercise. As ever, so I leave over most, all the analyze will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Now, the first thing we're going to go over is how to analyze your own work. I think this is the thing that people struggle with the most, because to be able to analyze something, you need 2 things: observation skills and knowledge on the subject. If you're still a beginner, you don't have enough knowledge to know why something is correct or incorrect, and usually you also don't have strong enough observation skills to be able to actually see mistakes. To observe better, I have a whole video on how observation works, but the core of observation revolves around seeing angles. When you're paying attention to angles, you'll be able to see things the way they actually are. In 2 dimensions, angles are very easy to identify. This is a 90-degree angle, for example. But in perspective, these angles can change a lot. Technically, this angle is 90 degrees, but if we were to measure it in 2 dimensions, it looks more like 60 degrees. If you want to be able to accurately observe stuff, you have to be able to see these angles the way they actually are and not what your brain thinks they are. The more you start paying attention to these angles, the better you'll be able to observe things, and then over time, as you observe references and other people's art as well as your own art, you'll start to become able to spot your own weaknesses, and then you can start critiquing your own work instead of having to ask others to do it for you. Now, the second thing, when it comes to having knowledge, it's basically just a matter of studying. You have to learn what the perspective rules are, what the anatomy rules are, and so on and so forth. Without having that knowledge, you'll be able to identify areas of discomfort, but you won't know exactly why something looks incorrect. There's this painting, which I'm sure you've seen before. It's the Birth of Venus by Sandro Botticelli. If you ask people to point out a mistake in this painting, the first thing everyone points out is the neck. They always think it's too long. Now, whether or not that was intentional to create a specific effect is not part of this discussion. I'm purely just using this to make a point. So everyone says the neck is too long, but the length is not really the issue. It more so has to do with movement. Movement in the body occurs at the joints. In the case of the spine, there's a joint in between each vertebrae. Whenever the head tilts to the side, there's going to be a bend in the cervical section of the spine, which is the neck part of the spine. Basically, the head can't tilt without the neck moving. In this painting, her head is tilted, but the neck is not. That's where the sense of discomfort comes from, because you'd expect the neck to tilt with the head. You recognize it as something that looks out of place, but you don't actually have the knowledge to be able to explain why. So knowledge is important for analyzing your work, and if you're wondering, knowledge can be acquired from different sources like books and video tutorials. I actually have a bunch of these linked in our Discord server, which again is linked in the description. Basically, you're gonna have to study these things to the point where you're able to remember them and explain them to other people as well. Now, I get that studying might not be very fun, but it's a necessary evil if you want to get better. Now that we know how to analyze our work, the second skill you need to have is the ability to be able to come up with exercises. One of the biggest problems people have when it comes to coming up with things to practice is getting the order of operations wrong. The way it should work is you identify a weakness you have, and then you have to come up with ways to practice that weakness. What people are doing a lot nowadays is they watch a tutorial, for example, and then they practice whatever they saw in the tutorial, when it should be the other way around. You come across something during your studies, and then you decide to practice it, and then during your practice you can look up tutorials that further explain the topic. Let's say you're trying to get better at drawing more dynamic poses. If you don't understand why your poses are stiff in the first place, and you hop straight into asking people for advice or looking for tutorials, a piece of advice you might come across is that you should exaggerate your poses and you should think about the gesture. It's true that those things can help you get better poses, but there's a lot more to it than just exaggeration and gesture. You also have to think about the center of gravity, perspective, how the anatomy has to change to accommodate the movement, and if you get any of those things wrong, your poses will end up looking stiff. So if you're trying to make more dynamic poses and you're already pretty good at gesture because you've heard about it so many times, so you've already practiced it, practicing it more isn't going to help. So instead of following the standard advice of practicing gesture that people give you, you have to use your analysis skills to identify your actual weakness and then get creative about how you should practice that thing. If you've identified that your weakness lies in finding the center of gravity instead of finding the gesture, an exercise you can do to get better at finding the center of gravity is trying to identify it in a reference image and then drawing the pose from imagination following the center of gravity that you identified. Eventually, you're going to start to think about how the different parts of the body have to move to accommodate that center of gravity. It might be kind of hard to come up with exercises for every single topic, but it's better to come up with exercises yourself than to ask other people about exercises you can do, because that way you can actually think about what the purpose is of the exercise. Of course, you can also do exercises other people recommend, but like I said, you have to understand the purpose. So in short, try to improve your observation skills and acquire as much knowledge as you can. Try to improve your observation skills and acquire as much knowledge as you can. Look at other people's art, think about how they simplify and stylize things, and then eventually you'll be able to critique and analyze your own work. Once you're able to do that, try to identify your own weaknesses and then get creative when you're thinking about ways to practice those weaknesses. And that's it for the video. It was more theoretical than practical this time, but I hope that was still helpful, and as always, don't forget that if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so through Patreon and YouTube memberships, which are both linked in the description. You can also join our Discord server, but that's pretty much it, so I guess I'll see you all in the next video.
Okay, that was fun. Yeah, I think analyzing my own stuff is one of the biggest hurdles. I'm guilty, and I can just like admit it. It's tough for me to criticize my own stuff, and so maybe that is something I should work on more. Like I've done like the whole challenge, like you know, the month before, the month like after that one, before that one, with, you know, the I called it the Psygra challenge. Like I draw 5 times the thing 5 times, trying to get better with each iteration. I think that was like me, an attempt on my part to get better at that, but I feel like after the challenge I sort of like let go of the practice and I'm not doing it anymore. The way it needs to be, I think, is I should keep doing that. You should keep doing iterations, not just like draw one thing and then let it go, maybe, or just like draw one thing, like observe, like he said, observe, look at the angles, like actually like maybe just like pick up on some proportions and stuff like that. Lay strokes on paper and then look at your stuff and try to get a sense of where you went wrong, and then after that fix it. You know what I mean? I think the fixing part, yeah, part is important. You use one method as one singular angle of attack. You use one method as one singular angle of attack. Can you explain more? I don't know. I don't understand what that means. You gotta mix them and find something for you. Okay, I get what you mean. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. But that was fun. That was really interesting. He's got. It looks like he's got some interesting videos. Obviously, they look very clickbaity. But you know, it is what it is. That's YouTube. How to draw female hips. How to draw. It's the same video. What the hell? It is actually the same. Is it? How to draw female hips from behind. Oh, okay. Fixing PewDiePie's art. All right. Okay, I think I went too deep now. What's going on? This turned into Dark Souls. Demon Souls? This was a gameplay channel? Oh, okay. I mean, this was 6 years ago. You gotta tackle them with multiple methods. I agree. You used sacred stuff alone, ain't choosing with something else. Same thing with Proko, Bucci, and stuff. You gotta recall them. They ain't separated stuff. I agree 100%. And it's visible when, I try to draw with like only the Loomis method, for example. But the Loomis method is just like the technical stuff. Like I need to use the Loomis method and keep it, or actually I need to use the proportions and keep my heads and keep the Loomis method in my head. So I need to keep a few things on my mind while I'm drawing, not just like one singular thing. I 100% agree. I think the reason why I'm kind of like struggling with it, or anybody who's beginning struggling with it, is just like I think there's multiple things that you need to recall that can get sometimes overwhelming. And as a beginner wants to focus on one thing, and it's very easy to forget about the other stuff. But I think with practice you get to be actually able to focus on multiple things at once, right? Not obviously you will get overwhelmed if you just go for theory too. You are not having fun. Yeah, exactly. I think it's important to just like lay strokes, put strokes there and see what works for you. Just like you said, have fun with it, because I feel like find fun into something that challenges you and already sends you to that direction that you want. Exactly. And I think having fun, it's not like having fun drawing and having fun is not beneficial. It can be very beneficial as well, because you can do something on accident, for example, and it turns out to be looking good, and so you keep using that. Do you still want to make good hands for motion design? Have you updated your goals by now? Oh, bro, my goals have been updated way before I started drawing like bodies even. But no, I feel more comfortable drawing hands now. I feel like doing them in motion design is a given now, right? Because in motion design, the hands that I plan on drawing are not realistic hands. Are not even anime hands. What I want to draw is like sausage fingers, those kind of fingers. The fingers in what is it called? In Adventure Time. Those kind of like very abstracted shapes, right? Because motion design is more about abstracted shapes than actual realism. So yeah, I think I can do those, right? I sort of like know the structure of the hand, and that knowledge can transform into those abstracted hands, just taking off some layers of realism until they're like sausage hands, sausage fingers. So yeah, actually I want to do one thing I've thought about after this month's challenge is to pick the faces that I drew that I like, and I'm going to turn them into full-blown illustrations. I'm thinking of making them turn them into vector art, and I want to do them in a gradient style. Now I need to choose like a certain gradient. I'm thinking about the colors that I'm going to use and stuff like that. And hopefully, if I've gotten good enough, I want to try to turn them into 3D into 3D illustrations. I'm going to test my luck on Blender. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see about that. But I'm definitely going to turn them into 2D vector illustrations, and maybe even animate them. You know, who knows? I'll animate the hair, maybe animate the eyes. You know, blinking. It should be fun. It's gonna be fun. Next month is going to be fun. I'll have a month of just like doing that, and then the months after that we're going to go on to another challenge. Yes. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Joe, I appreciate the recommendation. I appreciate the, you know, pulling up sometimes. I appreciate the freaking backseating, as you call it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and all I gotta say is peace out.